So for today's practice, if you don't have a mat, that's fine. If you do have a mat, that's wonderful. Just have a little something that will cushion the floor for you. And if you have a pillow, go ahead and get a pillow. And maybe you'd like to have a blanket. We will do a Shavasana at the end. And if it's a little cool in your house, you can have a blanket for that. So that's all we're going to need for today's practice. I've already got my eye on tomorrow's practice. And so for tomorrow's practice, I want you to make sure you have a space against a wall. So just keep that in mind. I'll try to remind you at the end of class today. Let me think. I know I had a couple of things I wanted to mention. I'm just trying to remember everything. A few of you have commented that you liked my stories that were posted with the Breathe Together newsletter. And I still have my little book of Hindu deities. And I do plan to share more of those. And we're also working on getting those posted to the Breathe Together Yoga YouTube channel. So they will be accessible anytime. So if you're here for class, why don't you go ahead and lay down on your mat? Go ahead and we'll just start in Shavasana. As one of my favorite instructors always said, we'll start in Shavasana. It's like starting with dessert. And so just starting in Shavasana, laying on your mat with your legs down the length of your mat, arms down along your sides. You can have your palms turned up, or you can have your palms turned down. It's entirely up to you. It's your choice. But just take a moment here in Shavasana and allow yourself to notice your breath. Your breath today is probably very different than when you usually come to class. And just notice how deep your breath is, how long your inhale and your exhale are. Notice how you're feeling in your body. Maybe you're feeling really wiggly now. Everybody's trying to adapt to new schedules. Not everyone's figured out quite what works best for them. And so maybe you haven't gone outside today. Maybe you haven't had a chance to play. So maybe you're feeling a little wiggly. And then go ahead and bend one knee at a time. Bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Decide which side you want to roll over to. And once you make that decision, go ahead, raise that arm all the way up overhead. Roll over onto that side, and your head will come to rest on your arm. And you can have your palm right in front of your chest on the floor. And then you're just going to push yourself up to a seat. And we're going to come up to a seat. And we're going to get ready to begin our class for today. So go ahead and bring your arms out to the sides, turn your palms to face up. Let's take a nice deep inhale, arms rising all the way up, palms touching gently at the top. Exhaling, palms to heart center. And we'll do it again, bringing our arms all the way out to the sides, turning our palms to face up. Inhaling both arms all the way up, palms touching gently. Exhaling, palms to heart center. And then one more nice deep inhale, arms rising all the way up, palms touching gently at the top. Exhaling, palms to heart center. And we'll open with one Om. And so we'll synchronize our breath. So we'll first exhale. And then take a nice deep inhale. Namaste and welcome. Thank you for coming to practice with me today. So for those of you who came in as we were sitting up from our Shavasana, I am looking forward to seeing students from Breathe Together Yoga and students from Discovery Charter School. And I want to thank you for joining me. And I am offering you this class. And I've been thinking so much about it. And I'm hoping that for those of you who have felt a little self-conscious when we meet live together, that you'll feel really comfortable in this class. And maybe if you usually practice with socks on, this will be your chance to take your socks off and practice with bare feet. So thank you. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's move back into Shavasana. So everybody's going to move into Shavasana this time. Legs extended down the length of your mat. Arms extended down along your sides. And you can turn your palms to face up or you can turn your palms to face down. It's your choice. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose and then exhale with a sigh. And another nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause at the top of your inhale and then exhale with a sigh. And then another nice deep inhale. Pause at the top of your inhale and exhale with a sigh. And so from here, go ahead and move your right foot over to the edge of your mat or the edge of your blanket. And then you're going to cross your left leg or cross your left ankle over your right ankle. So now you've got a little bit of stretch along the left hip. And we're going to add the arms. So first, inhale, arms all the way up. And then you'll move your shoulders and your head over to your right. And then from here, you may decide to take a very gentle hold of your left wrist. So you have a stretch now running from your left wrist all the way down to your left pinky toe. But it's a gentle stretch, a really nice, gentle stretch. And once you're here, notice your breath again. And now go ahead and uncross your ankles. Bring your left leg back to center. Right leg back to center. You can bring your shoulders, your arms, and your head back to center. You can let go of your left wrist and just allow your arms to just rest on the floor. Just resting. Not trying to hold any position, just resting. And then to move over to the other side, take your left heel, your left foot, move over to the edge of your blanket or your mat, and this time you'll cross your right ankle over your left. And pause here for just a minute. So see if you notice a stretch along the right side of your body. And then from here, you can move your shoulders, your head, and your arms, and you can take a gentle hold of your right wrist. Lay your arms all the way up overhead. And now, so we've created this nice stretch from the tip of your right pinky finger to the tip of your right pinky toe. And then you'll uncross your right leg, bring it back to center. Bring your left leg back to center. Bring head, shoulders, and arms back to center. Release your right wrist. Allow your arms to just lay against the floor, just resting. And now bending each knee one leg at a time. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. You're going to take the outside edges of your feet and come into happy baby. And this happy baby can be perfectly still, or your happy baby can move. And it's a small movement. And then coming back to stillness, keep a hold of that right foot. Let go of your left foot. Allow your left foot to come all the way down the length of your mat. So you're kind of pulling very gently on that right foot. That knee is coming to the outside edge of your body. And then release that leg. Allow that leg to go all the way down the length of your mat. And we're gonna again pause here. Allow yourself to notice how that feels. Allow yourself to notice what your breath is doing. Notice if you're breathing more quickly or more slowly. And then go ahead and bring your left leg back up. Take a hold of the left edge or the outside edge of your left foot. And again, knee coming to the outside of the body, just kind of pulling very gently on your foot. Then we'll release that foot. Allow that leg to come all the way down the length of your mat again. And you know what I'm going to say. Notice how your body feels. Notice what your breath is doing. And then from here, you'll decide which side you want to roll over to. Bend each knee one leg at a time. Arm goes all the way up overhead. Go ahead and roll over to your side. Hand comes right onto the floor, right in front of your chest. And then as you're ready, you're going to begin to push yourself up. Very gently, very slowly. Come all the way up to a seat. And then extend your legs straight out in front of you. And so legs are straight out in front of you. You can bring your hands right alongside your hips. You can have your fingertips pointed behind you. And see if you can point your toes. Point your toes as hard as you can, really stretching the tops of the ankles, really stretching. And then you're going to flex your feet. So toes come back, toes pointed up. See how far you can spread your toes. See if you can wiggle your toes. Now try pointing your toes again, flexing your feet again, pointing, and flexing, and see if you can roll your toes, or like you're drawing big circles with your toes in one direction. And then we'll take our big toes in the other direction. And then coming back to stillness. And now, we're not going to do crisscross applesauce. We're going to do something a little bit different. So, begin by taking your right leg right in front of you. And then you're going to stack your left leg on top of the right. So right foot and right ankle, or left foot and left ankle on top of your right knee. Left knee right above. Your knee may touch your ankle and your foot. Mine aren't touching right now. But this is called fire log. It may kind of remind you of how logs are stacked when you have a fire in the fireplace or you have a campfire. So see if you can just stack your legs right here. But then we'll take our arms, we'll take a nice deep breath. Arms go all the way up. And then we're going to fold forward over our legs. And so now, instead of reaching with your fingertips, see if you can turn your palms over. So not reaching, but just leaning forward, laying over your legs. And notice what your breath is doing here. Now you can turn your palms over. You can walk your palms or your fingertips back, push yourself up to a seat. And now what we're going to do with our legs is we're going to continue to take our feet over to the sides. So you can take your hands and grab the outside edges of your feet in shoelace. And so from here, lengthen all the way up through your spine, reaching tall, tall, tall. And then as you exhale, again, fold forward. And then on your next inhale, rise all the way up. Untangle yourself. So straighten your legs. And what I'd like for you to do now is go back to laying back in Shavasana, but we're going to go ahead and do our starfish. So feet can go wide. Maybe your heels go off the outside edges of your mat. Arms go all the way up overhead. And just breathe here. Allow yourself to really sink into the floor. Just allow the floor to really support you here. Notice your breath again. Notice the sensations from those poses. And now again, one leg at a time. Sole of each foot comes to your mat. You'll decide which side you want to roll over to. That arm goes all the way up, roll over to your side. And then very slowly, very gently, push yourself all the way up to a seat. Coming back up to a seat, and we'll get ready to do the other side. So this time, left leg underneath, right leg on top. Again, doing our fire log setup. So this is our fire log seat. Right foot and ankle over left knee. Right knee over left foot and ankle. Yours may touch. So inhale, both arms up. Exhale, fold forward. And again, turn your palms up so you don't feel that temptation to kind of pull at the floor or feel that you need to pull yourself forward or work really hard in the pose. You can relax in this pose. Feel all of the stretching. Feel all of the sensations of the pose. And then return to your breath. Allow yourself to notice your breath. And you can turn your palms over, walk yourself back up, and we're gonna move into our shoelace. So just continue sliding those feet over to opposite sides. See if you can take the outside edges of the feet. So outside edges of the feet. Okay, and now lengthen all the way up through the spine, all the way up through the crown of the head, and then folding forward. Take a moment to notice your breath. And then on your next inhale, you're going to rise all the way up. And then from here, we're going to move back into that pentacle. So pentacle or starfish pose, whichever you like to call it. Feet as wide as your mat. You're going to go ahead and lower all the way back down to your mat. Arms go up overhead. And this is your opportunity to allow yourself to relax, feel supported, feel all of the sensations of those poses, the movement, the stillness. Notice if your breath has changed. Notice if your breath changes from when you're in a pose to when you're just laying on the floor. So let's take 3 more sighs again. So take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale with a sigh. Another nice deep inhale. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And one more nice deep inhale. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And then we'll again get ready to move up to a seat. So bend one knee at a time. Bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Decide which side you want to roll over to. Roll over to that side. And then push yourself up to a seat. And then from here, go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. You're going to do a nice forward fold. So here in butterfly, you've got the soles of your feet together. You don't have to pull your feet close to your body. In fact, allow them to be at a comfortable distance. So we don't really need to feel a lot of sensation here, because what we're going to do is we're going to raise all the way up, lengthen through the spine, and then fold forward. And then again, allow yourself to turn your palms to face up. So palms are facing up. And as I'm looking here, I'm looking right at my feet. You can just relax. You can keep your eyes open. Gaze at the soles of your feet, or you can close your eyes here. Notice your breath. Notice if it's easier to breathe here, because there's all this space for a nice deep belly breath. And as you hold the pose, sometimes when we hold these poses for a long time, one of two things will happen. We actually move a little deeper into the pose, or we may find that the feelings of the pose become really intense. And if they do, you can just push yourself out of the pose ever so slightly. There's no need to be uncomfortable. And then from here, we're going to turn our palms back down. Walk your hands back towards you, pushing yourself up to a seat. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, push them back and down. And then again, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, push them back and down. And one more time, up towards your ears, back and down. And then from here, if you happen to have a pillow, you can go ahead and get one pillow or two pillows. We're actually going to move into just a very gentle, very supported back bend. And I want to give you two options for your legs. So you'll have your pillow. You'll bring your hips right up to the edge of your pillow. And for your legs, you may decide to do a butterfly again. So you can have the soles of your feet together, knees open out to the side, or you can take your feet as wide as your mat and allow your knees to come in and just rest on each other, and they'll support each other. And then you'll just lay back on your pillows. And you'll lay your arms out to the sides. And from here, you can decide, maybe you want to have your arms close to your body, or maybe you want to have your arms way out to the sides. So a couple of things decide that, how it feels and how much space you have. So look at those two things and decide where you're going to rest your hands. And again, you can turn your palms to face up here. Trying to have them face down won't have quite the same sensation. Now you can stay right here. I'm going to sit up and give you a little bit more instruction. So we're getting ready to move into our Shavasana, a very abbreviated class today for my first class. So as you're here lying back on your pillows, what I'd like for you to do is decide which side you're going to roll over onto, and you'll roll very carefully as you roll off your pillows. Roll over to one side. That arm is going to drape in front of your chest again. Push through your palm and push yourself up to a seat. And you're going to get into your Shavasana. And I want your Shavasana to be the most comfortable Shavasana you've ever had. This is where you may decide to take your pillows and you can place them on your mat. And you can drape your legs over the pillow. If you choose to do that, what I'd like for you to do is make sure that your legs drape all the way over and that your heels actually rest on your mat so that you can feel your mat or your blanket or the floor right underneath your heels. And then you're going to lay all the way back onto your mat. You're going to bring your arms down along your sides. Palms facing up or down, whichever you prefer, whichever is more easeful, whichever comes more naturally for you. And so then as you're here in your Shavasana, your final resting pose for this practice, this is your chance again to check your breath. What is your breath doing now? Notice how your body feels. Allow yourself to sink really deeply into the floor so that you're just feeling your whole body completely supported right here. Notice your jaw. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Maybe you want to take your fingertips and you want to massage your jaw just a little bit. And then come back to stillness. Bring your arms back down along your sides. Notice your eyebrows. Notice your eyes. Notice if you're pinching your eyebrows together right now. If you're thinking hard about something, allow yourself to relax. Allow the skin on your forehead to just smooth out. Take another nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale with a sigh. Another nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And one more nice deep inhale. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And then just bring your awareness to your hands without moving. Just having your awareness on your hands. Just imagine your hands moving. And then bringing your awareness to your feet, again, without moving. Just imagine your feet and your toes moving. And then begin to bring some very gentle movement back into fingers and toes, hands and feet. You can very gently turn your head from one side to the other. And then bending one knee at a time, bring the soles of your feet to your mat. You'll decide again which side you're going to roll over to, and you'll raise that arm all the way up overhead so that when you roll over to that side, your head will come to rest on that arm. Your other arm will drape right in front of your chest. You'll push through that palm, push yourself all the way up to a seat. We'll bring our arms out to the sides, turn our palms to face up. We'll take a nice deep breath, palms touching gently at the top. Exhaling, palms to heart center. To Anjali Mudra, the mudra of gratitude. With gratitude for these bodies and all of the things that they allow us to do, and with gratitude to all of you for coming out and sharing your practice. We'll close with one Om, so we'll synchronize our breath, first exhaling. And then taking a nice deep inhale. Om.